You just walked through the door.
We had Colton jumping over a fence.
He just jumped the fence.
Chris Harrison opening a fence. And the darkness. It's time for Roses and Rosé. Hi, everybody. You guys, I'm Lauren Zima. I don't even know what episode this is of Colton Underwood season of The Bachelor. The number, the day, the week, the month. Bottom line, he jumped the fence. He jumped the fence. He jumped the fence. And now we know what was on the other side. And we're gonna get to it all, but first of all, we're gonna give the build-up just like they did on the episode. And the build-up is a date with Tayshia. Sorry, girl. Okay, we needed a full glass of wine for this. And I just wanna know overall, you guys, first question of the night, where was your stress factor with the fence jump? How emotional were you? Scale of 1 glass of wine to 10. Please drink responsibly. Okay, so things start out with, I'm so stressed out I couldn't print my notes, so I'm gonna go off my phone, the screen's gonna lock a bunch, and like just power through with me, okay? I have a Face ID, so it'll be quick. It's me unlocking my phone. I'm being more dramatic than I need to be. It's really surprisingly accurate. That technology freaks me out. Anyway.
What do you want to chat about?
You know, I know last time I had a little awkward conversation with you, and I don't want to make this one awkward.
The awkward Becca Fantasy Suite conversation?
Yes.
So Chris and Colton are talking, and we're all hoping this talk won't be as awkward as it was on Becca's season between Chris and Colton.
I guess I just want to know sort of what the expectations are.
Are you saying you were worried about being intimate with Becca?
At this point? Yeah.
And you know what? Colton says, quote,
I think the moment you start planning things out, you're doing yourself a disservice.
and I have to say I disagree. Colton, maybe if you'd planned things a little more, you wouldn't be a virgin at this point. Then again, I guess you want to be, so whatever.
I'm waiting for an opportunity.
Colton says he wants to make love with somebody
Who I'm in love with.
who he loves and who's in love with him.
In love with me.
And don't drink every time Colton says love.
I feel like I'm in love. Make love who I'm in love with, who's in love with me.
I got a lot to get through. Luckily, I didn't drive here. I was dropped off. That's called planning ahead. Okay,
To Algarve, Portugal.
and we are going to Portugal. I've never been. I want to go. Do you want to go to Portugal? What location do you want to see on the show that hasn't been on the show yet? I don't think I should ask this question. We only care about the fence jump, right? Who cares where we are? There's a fence. Great. Wherever it is, there's a fence. Great. Okay.
Since the beginning of this journey, Colton and I's relationship has revolved around building trust.
Jump to me, here we go.
Then we get some really, and I quote myself, boring recaps of the final 3. We've been with you this whole time. We know who you are. Well, Tayshia and Cassie, we know who you are. Hannah G, we don't know a ton about you, really. We know you beatbox.
Sitting right here with people I love the most.
Whatever. We didn't even need the recaps because the beatboxing wasn't in her recap, and that was her most important moment. Recaps.
What's up?
Hi. Okay, then Tayshia and Colton, and they are in Portugal. I think, honestly, it kind of looked like they were at like a high school. And then Tayshia and Colton get in a helicopter and drink every time Tayshia has an over-the-top reaction to getting in a helicopter.
Oh my God, you're kidding me. Colton.
Up in the ice, so.
Oh my God. I've never been on a helicopter before.
Really?
No.
It's like at this point, you've bungee jumped, you've skydived, which put you in a plane. Are you really that excited about a helicopter? And also, like, I don't know, a helicopter just seemed so late in the season to be getting a helicopter again. And can these two just ever keep their feet on the ground? Can you be on the ground? Get grounded. I don't believe your relationship because it's not grounded. It's all in the air. This is metaphorical, but also like literally true. Okay, and then, you know, I just wrote down, imagine if Tayshia and Colton were giving you a tour of Portugal.
I had no idea Portugal was so beautiful.
Wonder what other than figs do they export?
Do olive oil.
Drink every time they say something totally nonsensical in this helicopter.
Extra virgin though.
Yeah. That's how I like them.
Anyway, I won't be taking that tour. And then they land, and Colton and Tayshia sit on a blanket at the edge of a mountain. Keep your feet on the ground. After all of the death-defying experiences these two have had together, like, are they just trying to die at this point? Do they just have a death wish? Back the blanket up! I mean, they were on the edge and drinking. I'm drinking on a couch in a studio, not on a cliff. I'm not stupid. I'm putting myself up for, I'm asking for some jokes there.
To exploring another country, from being high in the sky.
But you know what? A good toast from Tayshia. And I sort of feel like I have to highlight each good toast this season because Hannah B's toast was so horrible. It's like every time I hear someone give a toast, I'm like, good job. You got out words in a sentence. Good job. Good toast. Excellent toast.
To sitting at the edge of the world.
Yes.
No! You get away from the edge. Everything's about to fall over the edge. And over the fence. You know it's coming. Okay, then they're eating their dinner. It's Fantasy Suites dinner, and like, you know, Colton's a virgin, which I'd sort of forgotten again because I'm like wrapped up in other crap at this point this season, but like, he's a virgin, and like Tayshia's like, my boob's popping out.
If your boob flies out,
No, it's not supposed to. There's tape.
And I was just like, this is like the most awkward. I just feel like I'm like being teased. Like, it's like middle schoolers. Like, oh, your nipple might pop out. Like, I don't know. I just want two adults to have sex if they're going to have sex, you know?
I was just making sure they were staying in there. They were going.
I don't know. It was weird. Because then there's like, they're going to the fantasy suite. Like, drums are sounding and the music's really dramatic. And then they get to the hotel room and there's a bath that's already drawn. And I'm like, how cold's that bath?
Look at the bubbles.
How long's that bath been sitting there? I don't want to get in that bath. Who drew that bath? No, thank you. Nothing about it was sexy to me.
Damn!
Were you guys feeling sexy vibes with Colton and Tayshia? Like, I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it.
I feel like it's one of those things, like, you just have to have confidence that you're doing the right thing.
Oh, this was an interesting detail, wasn't it? Colton said of sex, and I quote,
I mean, how hard can it be?
okay. And he also divulged, quote, without getting into details.
I mean, I've pretty much done I'm experienced in other ways.
I've pretty much done everything. I'm experienced in other ways. Okay. And let's not forget that Colton on a previous episode had said that he wanted his first time to be whatever woman he was with's best time ever. We've got lofty goals here, people. Toast to lofty goals. Anywho, we're not gonna get to those goals because Tayshia and Colton don't have sex. And you know what? Tayshia said they didn't have sex, and I appreciated that we knew they didn't have sex. Like, I like that she just said it. To directly quote her, she said,
I don't know when was the last time that Colton spent that kind of time with a woman, so I could just pick up on how nervous he was.
Wow. She said he was nervous, they didn't have the physical intimacy she was looking for, and I wrote down, oh, dang. I appreciated, though, that they just straight up told us, because a lot of the time fantasy suites are a question mark, right? We don't know if the people actually had sex or not. They tease to it, like they wake up in the morning, they have a fruit plate, they're in robes, whatever, but we don't always get an answer. In fact, we often don't get an answer, and in this case, he's a virgin, so like we kind of really need it, but maybe also is it too rude, is it too intrusive, but also he shared his whole story with us, like we need the answer. And I started to think about the order of the fantasy suites. And tell me if you guys were thinking about this. Were you considering who went first, second, or third? The order is always a weird thing to me because it's like, I don't know, it's just weird. You know that everybody's hooking up and it's just weird. But in this case, it's all about whether Colton's going to lose his virginity. So if he had sex with the very first fantasy suite person, then would he go to like 2 or 3 and be like, big news, I'm not a virgin anymore? And then, I don't know, if it was me, like I'd go in interview mode and I'd be like, how was it? How did it go? Did you learn anything? Do you want to, so okay, cool, so you graduated high school, now we're moving to college? What's going on? How did it go? What happened? How was it? I care about you, I'm your friend, I want to know. Was it good? Was it great? Was it bad? And I would ask a lot of questions. It's quite a conundrum that they have not been in before, you know? Literally, like there's never been a virgin lead before. Sean Lowe doesn't count, he was a born again virgin. There's never been a lead who had never had sex before. Don't drink every time I say before. Do it, but responsibly do it. That's what someone should say to Colton. Anyway.
I still feel great in the relationship.
So then what we have realized is that Colton is not into Tayshia. Didn't we see it? Did you guys feel it? Did you get that vibe? Because he said, and I quote,
Hearing Tayshia say that she loves me, it's really nice to hear.
That's like the thank you response, It's not good. There's not passion there. There's not fire. I felt at this point Tayshia was gone to me. What did you guys think? They were like, we're glad for the time, blah, blah, blah. Colton said, and I quote,
My mind automatically is still thinking about the other two relationships.
when he's with Tayshia. Oh, Tayshia. Oh, see you later, Tayshia. Oh, bye. Right? Okay.
All right, bye.
Bye.
But then what was weird to me was, and I got a little frustrated, was Colton said, hopefully those feelings for Tayshia do come at some point. Really? Excuse me. Really? 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 Is that what you're hoping for? Why would you hope to fall for somebody who you had not yet fallen for at this point, if you were already falling for somebody else? Call it a day on Tay. That's what I wrote down. And I mean that in a nice way to Tay. I like Tay. But it's time to get out of here, bae. Dr. Seuss is done. Okay, now on to the meat of the sandwich. Nobody says that. The Cassie date. Hi. So now Colton's saying he wants to be in love with Cassie. And I'm like, Colton, well, who don't you want to be in love with? Why do you want to fall in love with everybody? Just pick somebody. Like, we can say we want to be in love, but nobody should be saying, I want to be in love with her, I want to be in love with her, I want to be in love with her. Pick somebody. Well, he does. Doesn't he? The suspense of the fence. Coming forth hence. Grab a sixpence and buy a ticket. I gotta stop. I'm sorry. I don't know why rhyming makes me so happy.
There's a possibility that at the end of this night we can be in love. I hope we are. I hope we can get there.
Don't drink every time Colton says he hopes he falls in love. Like, are you in love? Just be in love. I got the vibe that Colton was trying for the sake of the show, honestly, to not say what he really wanted to say. And guess what? I was right. Again, it doesn't happen often. Okay.
There's just something about her.
So Colton and Cassie get into the date, and Colton starts saying that he feels like himself.
More myself than ever.
He feels complete when he's with Cassie. It's clear Colton's in love with Cassie, right? Right. And then he says,
I would love nothing more to hear that Cassie's falling in love with me.
Okay, don't you think Colton loves Cassie at this point? Yes. Okay, but then things take a turn.
I just wish I had more time.
Because we start to hear Cassie's feelings, and we get the feeling that Colton's gonna get crushed. Colton sounds so naive. He says, she's given me every reason to think
that she's falling for me.
Except telling you that she's falling for you. Remember, Cassie's the one person who hasn't said that she's even falling in love with Colton. Okay. Anyway.
For sure, I love Cassie.
Oh my God, he loves her.
Point blank.
He loves her. And remember, he was thinking about Cassie when he was with Tayshia. Oh my God. And then Cassie says that Colton makes her feel comfortable and safe.
I feel really comfortable and safe.
That's not good. It's not good, you guys. That's like being like, I feel comfortable with my brother. Remember that date when the psychic guy or whatever he was on that street said that they were brothers and sisters in a past life? Oh God.
I did ask him for a blessing at the end of this, if we get there, for an engagement. And I didn't get his approval.
Colton admits to Cassie, and I was glad that he told her that was the right thing to do, that her dad did not give him the blessing to propose to her.
I'm so confused right now.
And Cassie is somebody who I think is really close to their family. We can tell that because she's really struck by this. She starts tearing up. She's so confused. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? Well, a van pulls up in Portugal. A tree falls in the forest. A fish swims in the sea. A virgin tries to have sex. Cassie's dad shows up. Yes, he pulls up in the van, and I just want to applaud the producers. I want to applaud them. I want to vigorously applaud them. I want to cheer for them. Who thought of this? A raise for you! What a brilliant move. Bringing Cassie's dad to Portugal? The man who, unlike any other parent I've ever seen on the show, without raising his voice, without changing the tone of his voice, strikes fear into my heart. I love this man. And he is there to talk to his daughter about what he thinks she should do. And guess what? She's gonna listen. She's gonna listen. Oh crap, I lost my notes.
I can't say that I was convinced that she was in love, so I want to make sure that she's seen with both eyes open.
Cassie's dad straight up tells her she doesn't seem that into Colton, plain and simple. And what an observant dad. Oh my God. I mean, I don't know if my parents would have been able to tell, like, when I was into someone. It's like almost a little bit intense and intimate, but also like cool. He's a cool dad. And a scary dad.
For me to give a blessing after half-hour conversation with somebody isn't really diligent.
And then he leaves very quickly. Quick trip to Portugal for dad. I gotta look up how long the flight from the LA area where they live is to Portugal. And I hope dad got a helicopter tour or something while he was there, and I hope it was better than the one that Colton and Tayshia got. But quick trip and meaningful trip, because then we get the dinner. And oh man, we hear Colton say, quote,
I'm very excited for dinner, but I'm more excited for what comes after dinner. And that's the overnight date.
oh God. Oh God. I think he was thinking he was gonna have sex with Cassie. So now we're sensing the buildup, and we know the fence jump is coming, and Colton says Cassie is the one.
Cass is the one.
And he says he can see them working out together forever. And then, tell me if you guys got confused here. Were you baffled by Cassie's actions at the start of this date? She seemed so happy-go-lucky. She was smiling. She was being chatty with Colton. And I was like, oh, what are you doing? We all know you're about to dump him. We know you talked to your dad earlier. We know that he flew here from LA in his sweater. What are you doing? But tell me what you thought of Cassie's vibe. It was a little weird to me. I was also confused by Cassie's reasoning, because she started to say, you know, that like her parents never had doubts. Well, how long did her parents date before they got married? I would be curious to know, because her and Colton haven't gotten to date that long, you know? So I didn't think that that was fair.
I think it was a tough conversation for me to have with him.
Yeah.
I thought he would have, like, not given you his blessing, but, like, left it more, like, open-ended.
All right, so then we're in the throes of it. Cassie is slowly but surely dumping Colton. And then she called him sweet, and oh my God, that was rough. Again, is he her brother from another mother? We don't know. And then she tells him she loves him, but she's not in love with him.
And I love you so much. Like, so much. I'm not, like, in love.
It's so hard. How hard can it be? Difficult. Tremendously difficult. The breakup is happening. Were you on the edge of your seat? Were you reaching for your wine? Tell me. Okay, and then Colton asked Cassie if she was planning on leaving tonight, and she says yes.
I don't know if I can get there with you.
Well, Colton is there, we know that. And don't drink every time Cassie says she doesn't know.
I just wish I knew. I don't know if it is okay not to know. I don't know.
And she walks out and she's pacing, and Colton is just sitting there, and now she's second guessing it. And don't drink every time someone needs to be closed captioned during this horrifying breakup. And Colton walks over as a producer, and then the producer walks away. Goodbye, producer, and we are still closed captioning the conversation. And then Colton tells Cassie he's okay with being patient. Well, Colton, we know you've been a virgin for 26 years. He does have patience. We have to give him that, you know. And Colton says,
It's not easy going through and going on other dates with other women when all I do is think about you.
oh my God, I feel like the whole season has been a lie. All the other relationships were a lie, right? It's really mind-boggling. What did you guys think? How struck were you by that comment? Oh, and then Colton starts to tell her, look,
This is bigger than anything that's going on right now.
Meaning him and Cassie. And he says, you don't have to get engaged at the end of this, meaning the show. And I just felt like this was such a raw, real, intense moment, you guys, because Colton was like kind of throwing the show to the side a little bit and just saying like, I really care about you. And I was captivated. How did you feel? I'm looking at a camera that's not there. That's how captivated I am. I've lost my freaking mind in our studio. Okay? Okay. Our camera guys are laughing at me. Okay. So, he says,
I care for you. I love you. I want to be you at the end of this. Engagement or not.
just drink for that whole sentence. And I wrote down, this is horrifying. Like, here was my question. How much would you plead with that person at this point? How much would you beg someone to stay with you when they wanted to walk away? Because you start to think, if I keep begging, like, that doesn't mean they're going to stay. In fact, it means they're probably more likely to leave because everybody wants what they can't have, and I want them, and they don't want me, and oh my God.
I'm not gonna stop fighting for you.
What does that mean? Hannah G hasn't even gotten her fantasy suite yet. Crap, we forgot about Hannah G. You know why we forgot about her? Because we don't know anything about her, even though she's very sweet. We're probably going to have to close captioning while I'm saying this. Look, she seems very nice. I just don't really know much about her, other than that she's from Alabama. She doesn't have an accent, and she sort of can kind of beatbox a little bit, but not really. Okay, so... And by the way, guys, we talk a lot about how music amplifies the show. There is no music during this. It is painfully, deliciously, horrifyingly, tremendously silent. Anyway, Colton is walking Cassie out, and I don't even know where they are. It's too dark, just like this moment. And drink every time they have to close caption them. And they say, I love you to each other.
I love you.
But it's like in such a friend's way. Oh my God. It's like how I say, like, I love you, babe, to like everyone I've ever met. And Colton heads up to the stairs in this treehouse fantasy suite. And oh my God, those stairs look familiar. We've seen footage of him pushing the camera at the bottom of those stairs. We know what's coming. Cassie is gone. What do you guys think? Very quickly, do you think that Cassie should have left? She seemed unsure in her decision, but was it the right decision, or was she influenced by her dad? Do you think she has real feelings for Colton? Do you think that she left too soon? She seemed a little torn about it. Did you believe her? Let me know. That was a lot of questions. I'm sorry. A lot to take in. Okay, and I'm just gonna read out what I wrote down here. And there it is. And Colton is breaking stuff, and now he's gone into the night, and he's taking off his mic, and we hear somebody say, somebody get Chris. Somebody get Chris, and Chris Harrison is coming and saying, Colton! Colton! And Chris clearly thinks Colton is going to stop at the fence, but he says after Colton jumps over the fence, he just jumped the effing fence.
He just jumped the fence.
And they're over the fence and through the woods. And oh my God, is it woods? It's too dark. The fence doesn't open. This reminds me of the scene in Bridesmaids when Kristen Wiig is sitting on top of the fence and she's stuck up there. That would have been funny if a producer had gotten stuck up there. Anyway, side note, but back to the main point. It is so dark, and now it's the Blair Witch Project. And Chris says,
There's dogs barking down here.
there's dogs barking over there. And I guess maybe he went over there because we know Colton loves dogs. And there's all the producers, and now Chris Harrison is running. Oh my God, have we ever seen Chris Harrison run on this show ever? And Colton is gone into the night, just like our hopes and dreams. I can't. I was gonna try to drink all this, but I can't. You guys, I got nothing else. Colton.
You guys, she's taking God for mine. Taking God for mine.
Colton jumped the fence. Colton jumped the fence. He jumped it. This door closes really slowly. Kind of anticlimactic.
Lauren! She just walked through the door. How do you open this door? Is there an intern that can open the door? PA? My driver? My dog walker? My dishwasher? Oh. Lauren! You hear a wine bottle opening. Over here. Stop. Lauren! Lauren! I gotta break into a run. Found her.